Hey, what is up guys, Massive here back with another video, and we're on Tournament Badlands today, a map that was very popular many years ago. However, it is no longer in the ranked map pool, but players still like to pick it as a smaller version of Tournament Highlands. A little bit asymmetrical. I think the left side has a advantage over the right side. I think there's a difference in the expansion distances, but it is minuscule. Anyways, I'm going to be playing this game as the GDI Vanilla, and I'm going to showcase a trick that I've once upon a time shown on this channel, but I didn't give it enough attention. And we're playing against Vanilla Nod, so it's a classic GDI versus Nod game. There are 2 spikes per player on this map. I'm going to grab my respective spikes. And I don't know exactly what I'm up against. He could be Nod. In fact, I'm versus Nunfish here, so he probably picked. He never goes random. I've been casting a number of my games in recent times. I'm good. Cast games that I feel like are worth highlighting. I want to bring some more content to my channel. They may not be blockbuster games, but I felt like all of them had something worthwhile to showcase. And just like many of my other games, there's nothing really spectacular happening at the start of the game. One harvester, one refinery strategies are very niche, and in today's metagame practically unviable. They don't appear to work so well. Damn annoying fly here, I have to get out of the way. Clean up that scout, because I don't want him to know if I'm going for a eco or rig push. No one trusts me though, that's why they go for raider buggies, and I feel like many players get themselves behind as a result. They always go raider buggy first, and they overspend on scouts because they know that I'm an aggressive, unorthodox player. That's why they go for that strategy. You see 2 ore factories a lot of the time as well from my opponents, because they know that it counters rig rushes sometimes. Through refineries is very risky versus rig all-ins, so many players just go 2 ore factories, and it's a pretty safe thing to do. I see 3 raider buggies, so there's probably going to be a second war factory, because you wouldn't make 3 raider buggies, otherwise it would be bikes. They have more utility. You can harass harvesters at least, stop the GDI going to the blue field. I'm not going to go for that blue tip field, I'm going for a refinery. I'm going to eco up in this game. I'm going to go for a 3 refinery, tier 3. Not for what you might expect, which would be the Marv. I have other things in my mind. Spamming pipples. A good rule of thumb is to build 10 or 15 of them and keep them alive before transitioning into the slower, heavier GI units such as Predator tanks. Stealth tanks are a threat. He's going infantry, probably because he expects me to build 2 ore factories. Me and Nunfish have played a number of games, and I remember going 2 ore factories in the games prior. But I myself also put down a barracks. This is common practice, just in case your opponent goes for a big swell of bike buggy and you need something while you're attacking up. You don't want to get punished. It also unlocks the guardian cannon defense. Just having a barracks is a good thing. Some players like to power down the barracks from the start of the game and then power it back online, but its positioning is not too useful. It's worth it just to sell it off. You get a discounted rifleman in the process at the start. I was considering sniper teams, but I don't think it's necessary. Anyways, here is what I wanted to showcase. I'm going to go for scanner packs for my zone troopers, but just like that hardpoint upgrade in the previous video, I'm going to pause it at 99%. Now, what does this do in the case of zone troopers? Well, when I resume the hardpoint upgrade and it finishes researching, it will allow my zone troopers to fire off a secondary shot from their railguns instantaneously. They will not have to reload after the first shot. So it gives me a free shot, which in the case of this zone trooper harassment is essential, because I know my opponent is going to respond to this, and I need to get that second shot off quickly, as I do there. You don't quite see it, but you saw there I got that second shot off. Shockwave artillery comes down. Those confessors are a threat, but if I target down the confessors, the grenades should not be able to throw. I could have gone for the armory, but the range is insane, and I think I can outrange the militants as well. And infantry is not quite doing it for him. I think the best response to this zone trooper drop pod is having a black hand squad in your opponent's field, but even then it's pretty difficult. The zone troopers can just jump away from them and kill the harvesters. But yeah, zone troopers, man, even without that power pack upgrade, are very useful. Not only do they count as stealth tanks, but they can be excellent harassment units. Just as you witnessed there, I was able to kill 4 harvesters and get out alive with those 2-3 squads. And me being the GDI, I can build an armory, put them in the armory, and replenish all the lost squad members. Not before getting the power pack upgrade here as well, but yeah, I'm going to summon in these sniper teams to put in the APCs. I do not have AP ammo upgrade, and I see a swell of not infantry coming my way. Not infantry, very effective in the late game, because the not faction can use the redemption, and that's why I want to garrison up these APCs, just so that they can shoot whilst EMP'd by the awakened, which will inevitably follow. Zone troopers getting even more value now, defending those stealth tanks off. And there's the aforementioned redemption power. He's going to get some nice EMPs on my APCs, but it's those sniper teams, man, and I want to keep them alive. Not Awakened have so much health when they spawn. They have double the health compared to the Martyr Kane, but they move slightly slower. They are different in a few ways. Still called the Awakened, but it is not the same unit. And I once again use the Zone Trooper drop on. You can just see how annoying this is. Another 2 harvesters falls, and he just does not know what to do against this. Now, Venoms are obviously a response to Zone Troopers. By the time you got Venoms out, man, the damage has already been dealt. I've got my Marv out now. I have to jump jet away because I don't want those hallucinogenic grenades to land. We see a blue Tiberium crystal there from the fallen dead harvester. You can actually gather that, and the harvesters won't return to base. They'll just collect from another tip field. That's the beauty of the fields instead of the crystals being spawned. Sniper team doing a bit of stealth detection. I was thinking of using the Juggernaut special bombard ability on his base, but I don't feel it's worth it here. Just doing some recon. I can put the sniper team in the Marv. What I really need here is Orca for sensor pods. If I can put a sensor pod on this Marv, it's going to give me all the stealth detection I need. Venoms now are finally out, but the power pack upgrade is going to keep these zone troopers alive, or at least one of the squads. 2 Venoms falling there for one of the zone troopers. So even that second zone trooper drop pod I summoned in has paid off for me. I need some engineers in this Marv to heal it up. Airfield now being built, because I want to build an Orca to detect those units there. He's got stealth tanks, Those zone troopers are pivotal in the defense against those stealth tanks, both for GDI and ZOCOM. In the case of ZOCOM, you want to build the zone raiders. Scanner packs are the way you counter it. Redemption power once again gets summoned in. This Marv's getting real low on health. I want to get that back. I have no way to rebuild that without once again rebuilding my Reclamator hub. And these stealth tanks are just being a real pain in the ass. Spectre artilleries are now out. I deem okay. I can use the orbital bombardment. This is pretty unfair for Nod. Not only are Juggernauts exceptional against Spectres, but GDI have an assortment of support powers that can deal with Spectres, but so can Nod in this particular game. They can use the Tiv Vane and kill Juggernauts. In this game here, if he has a Tiv Vane, he can use it on the Jugs, and they'd be one shot away from dying to the Spectre artillery. And those stealth tanks no longer reverse move bug as much as before. In R22, I found a way to reduce the likelihood of units reverse bugging, but I only applied it to the Mantis and the stealth tank, the Nod units. It's not a perfect fix, it has a few drawbacks, but I felt like for stealth units it'd be okay. Probably should have applied it to the Spectres as well, but there we go. I was looking to use the shockwave on the Spectres. I'm doing a slow push forward. Marv has a sensor pod in it, so he's going to be able to detect and reveal the surrounding units and structures. And you can see the zone troopers are still being a menace. Look at this zone trooper squad. Promoted all the way to elite. They spawn as veterans, so that's one other consideration to make with the zone trooper drop pod. They rank up very quickly. A pretty good shockwave artillery though for me, and I'm going to start targeting down this Redeemer engineering facility, but sadly he's going to get his Redeemer out. But I'm not too concerned about that, because he's not harvesting from the middle green field. I can queue units, albeit not tier 3 units. That tier 3 of mine must have went down to the stealth tanks earlier. And the Redeemer is starting to take huge damage from the Marv. Zone Trooper, though, moving in. That's a dual flame Redeemer, so it's not going to have any ability to repair itself. And now I'm going to target the ground, anticipate where that Redeemer is going to move to, just so all of the Jug Shells land their shots. I don't want them to miss. Marv pushing forward. Those Spectres will be forced back, and now I feel like I have enough to push in. I have reinforcements in the form of Predator tanks and APCs. Redeemer low on health. Vertigos are now out. And one thing you can do is put a sensor pod on your opponent's units. They have to repair it off at a war factory if you do so. And just as I mentioned before, I'm targeting the ground so the Redeemer takes huge damage. And when this Redeemer falls, Numbfish will call the GG there. Sadly, the Zone Trooper squad died, but I have 3 more, which are protecting my base against those stealth tanks. I'm going to go back for a Marv. This is a excellent map for GDI once you have your middle field established. Juggernaut's very good for securing it, not have difficulty, but it was really the stealth detection of those Zone Troopers that got me the lead. If not for that, it would have been a much closer game, and I made the middle field fight a lot easier with those Zone Troopers, and in particular that trick getting that secondary kill on the harvester in quick succession. Eco there was well in my favor as a result. Anyways guys, hope you all enjoyed this game. If you did, then don't forget to hit the like button, and I'd really do appreciate that. Anyways, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for my patrons for continuing to support me, my work, and keeping this game alive. Anyways, this is it from me, Master Leaf. Peace out.